Lucy Letby. She killed more babies. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Last year, when Lucy Letby was convicted of killing a number of children, I analysed her in detail. If you haven't accessed that, I'd recommend that you do so, and you can find it as a playlist on my Ultra channel. It provides you with a comprehensive analysis of the evidence and a detailed breakdown of what she is. If you haven't accessed that and don't want to know what she is, I'd suggest that you stop listening now and revisit this video later. For those of you that followed my detailed analysis of her, you'll be aware that I concluded that she is a narcissist. And I explained what it was that motivated her to take the steps that she did. At the moment, there is the Thirlwall inquiry, and as part of that, it has been reported the suggestion that Lucy Letby may well have killed more children than first known. The report in the Times explains, Lucy Letby is likely to have killed and assaulted more children than those she was convicted of murdering on a hospital neonatal unit, a senior doctor has told a public inquiry. Letby, age 34 from Hereford, is serving 15 whole life orders for the murder of 7 infants and the attempted murder of 7 others between June 2015 and June 2016 while working at the Countess of Chester Hospital. Dr. Stephen Breary, a consultant paediatrician, who previously raised concerns about the nurse, told the Thirlwall inquiry that he believed Letby did not start becoming a killer in June 2015, and that she may have had earlier victims. The incidents occurring in the indictment period and before the indictment period were babies deteriorating that should have triggered an incident, he told the inquiry. On reflection, it's likely that Letby did not start becoming a killer in June 2015 or did not start harming babies in June 2015. And I think it's likely that her actions prior to then changed what we perceived was abnormal. The inquiry, chaired by Lady Justice Thirlwall, is examining events at the Countess of Chester Hospital surrounding Letby's eventual conviction. Breary, who was the neonatal unit's lead clinician when Letby was working on the ward, said that the reporting culture on the unit was good, and staff were aware that they should flag things they thought had gone wrong. The doctor said that in retrospect, he believed some of the incidents between June 2015 and June 2016, and probably before, were deteriorations of babies that could have prompted further investigation. Asked by Peter Skelton KC, representing families of Letby's victims, whether it was his view that the nurse had murdered or assaulted children before June 2015, Breary said, I think that's likely, yes. He said that he was not aware of anyone on the unit who had suspicions before June 2015, but that there were now a number of cases that appear suspicious. If we had a thermostat for the level of work and number of events that we can't quite understand, I think it was turned up over those years. So our perception of what is normal for a neonatal unit in terms of number of collapses you might expect in a week, a month, or a year had changed. Letby was moved to clerical duties in July 2016 after consultants, including Breary, told executives about their concerns that she might have been deliberately harming babies. Cheshire Police were not called until May 2017, however, and there were plans shortly beforehand to return Letby to the unit. After 3 deaths in June 2015, when he was told that Letby was identified as the one member of staff present on each occasion, Breary recalled his first reaction was to say, Oh no, not Lucy, not nice Lucy. Asked about his initial response, Breary said, well, obviously, some part of my mind was thinking the worst, the concern that there might be someone harming babies. Now, this is simply the opinion of a lead clinician, and the observation that he has provided is that they didn't pick up on it because the thermostat, as he has described it, meant that the incidence of problems meant that they didn't pick up on it because, in effect, Lucy Letby's behaviour was such that she had created an environment where the number of collapses was made to be higher, so that they thought, well, this is the type of thing that happens, and therefore it didn't alert them to it. It is a possibility. And of course, with Lucy Letby, she started a training course in early 2015. She completed a specialist training course at that time, which meant that she was one of very few staff on the ward qualified to care for the sickest babies in the high dependency and intensive care nurseries. It wasn't until the 8th of June 2015 that she has now been convicted of committing a murder on that date of baby A, a twin, by injecting air into his bloodstream less than an hour after she is made his designated nurse. It could have been, therefore, that given the motivation of the pursuit of the prime aims, that she could have committed murders between early 2015, once she completed the specialist training course and therefore was placed in a position of being qualified to care for the sickest babies, and 8th of June 2015, which was the first murder. Letby actually started work at the Countess of Chester Hospital in January 2012, where after graduating she was given a full-time role on the neonatal ward, where she was known as a trusted colleague. Again, it's a possibility that whilst the first murder, of which she was later convicted, took place on the 8th of June 2015, as suggested by the lead clinician, she might have started murdering babies earlier, possibly in early 2015, when there was the completion of the specialist training course, or quite possibly even earlier. The fact is, it isn't the case that Lucy Letby woke up one morning and thought, I'm going to murder children, but rather she did it as an instinctive response for the necessity of seeking fuel and to addressing threats to control, as I've explained in my detailed analysis. Given that she was a narcissist in early 2015 and, of course, was a narcissist in January 2012, it isn't the case that she suddenly developed the need to seek out fuel and control whilst working as a nurse. She already had those needs. She already, on arriving at the Countess of Chester Hospital, sought subconsciously the prime aims. And therefore, it wasn't that her narcissism manifested during the course of her nursing career. That was already in place. Instead, it was the opportunity to do something which enabled her to gather fuel, to assert control in the manners that I have described, by creating an emergency that she was then later seen to resolve, by causing chaos through the death of a child so that she could elicit sympathy and be given a role to support those affected by it. In essence, the murder of the children was an outlet for her narcissism to enable her to pursue the prime aims. Now, most narcissists don't kill. There are lots of alternative ways that the narcissist will achieve the prime aims: by having sex with someone, by insulting someone, by praising someone, by buying them a gift, by pretending to care for them. There are lots of different ways that the narcissism will cause that individual to pursue the prime aims, but in some instances, the narcissism will select inflicting injury and even death upon an individual for the purposes of the pursuit of the prime aims. Letby utilised the causing of harm and then the killing of children as a means for the prime aims. She didn't think of it in terms of doing it that way. She didn't think to herself, I need control, so I'll kill a child. She didn't think I need to nullify a threat to control by killing a child. She didn't think I need to gain fuel by killing a child. Her narcissism, as I've explained elsewhere, caused her to believe something else. But given the fact that her narcissism was present, and the observations of this lead clinician as to earlier circumstances that raised suspicion, it may well be the case that Lucy Letby, driven by her narcissism and the pursuit of the prime aims, was killing as early as January 2012. There are ongoing police investigations, and therefore it remains to be seen whether the actual evidence then supports this proposition. But it is an interesting observation that has been provided by this doctor, and of course, the presence of her narcissism is such that it could well have been the case. What do you think? Do you think that Lucy Letby has committed further murders? Do you think that they took place earlier than the 8th of June 2015? Do you think they took place a few months earlier or years earlier? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.